Good morning guys, happy Tuesday. If you're new to my channel, my name is Leanne. I'm a fat vegan trying to lose weight using Slimming World. For everyone else, thanks for coming back. Today I'm doing another what I eat in a day, so thanks for joining me. I really wanted to be virtuous this morning. Also, look at the state of, this is the problem with working from home. I've just given up caring, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I am trying to be virtuous at the moment and start my days with a green tea and my water. But you know what? I went to bed early last night. Could I sleep? No. So then I did sleep. Then I woke up like an hour before my alarm. Isn't that the worst? So yeah, basically I'm not feeling too rested and too chirpy this morning. So I don't feel like having my green tea that I've really been getting in a good habit of having as my first drink of the day. So the reason I'm trying not to have so many lattes is because I'm trying to make them with the, because I do make them with the Alpro Almond for Professionals or Barista, and that is 1 sin per 100 mils. The reason I like to make it with those particular milks is because they taste phenomenal. They are really almondy and just a tiny bit sweet, and they're just delicious. They make the best lattes. So I'm having a latte, and it's going to be 3 sins because I use 300 mils of milk. I'm fairly sure my regulars know the drill by now, but I chuck some coffee in there. The coffee I like is this one, Espresso Noir. Sorry, I always keep my old tea bags until they dry out a little bit, and then I put them in the veg recycling. You know, got to do your bit. And then I just make espresso. I grab one of my favourite kitchen gadgets, which is my little milk frother. It's got 2 heads, like a double one and a single one. I've already heated my 300 mils of milk, and then I just froth it out. And as you can see, what was 300 mils is now looking like 500, but that's just foam. You know, life is good. And I just pour it on like a little barista. Chuck all that lovely foam on, because that's what makes me feel special. I'll get that out in a sec, don't you worry. And there we have it, my lovely almond latte, that in fairness is basically the same as what they'll give you in Costa or Starbucks. Happy days. Just grabbing myself a cup of green tea. Oh, steamy. Right, today for breakfast, it's the same as yesterday, and I'm afraid it'll be the same all week. And that is these leftover carrot cake baked oats. Now, this is the fun part where we see, look how thin they are. If you didn't catch the recipe for these, please see yesterday's video, which was number 32. I mean, in fairness, I thought I had too much milk, but the texture is, I mean, you could definitely pick these up and eat them. I mean, they're a bit wobbly, but it's pretty solid, so that's good. I'm going to heat this up, but I don't want it cold. These have just been microwaved for 1 minute, and they are nice and warm to the touch, so that's fine by me. Hey guys, it's lunchtime. I haven't had anything since the green tea earlier. It's now 12:10, and that was at about 9:30, so I've got a little rumbly in my tumbly. But what I'm doing is actually prepping for dinner, or starting to prep for dinner. It's Tuesday, as I said earlier, and I have my mum over for dinner on Tuesdays. A recipe from one of my favourite cookbooks, which is Oshi Glows, the original one. And I just love the way she cooks. There's a few of her recipes in here that are absolute go-tos. I've had this book years, hence it's not in fantastic, well, it's not that bad actually. But I've cooked quite a lot from here, and some things, you know, like with every cookbook, there's recipes you don't ever touch, but this one has probably more than the average of ones that I go back to again and again. So the recipe that I'm doing is this crowd-pleasing Tex Mex Casserole. I've only made this once before to my recollection, and I'm having to adapt it, but only very slightly for Slimming World. So basically you top it with some tortilla chips. I'm just leaving them off, so that's an easy substitution. Everything else is sin-free, except for olive oil to cook, saute off some vegetables. She only calls for 1.5 teaspoons anyway, or half a tablespoon, but I'll just use my olive oil spray, so that's cool, or my rapeseed oil spray actually. And then vegan cheese, and I'm going to use cocoa so that it comes out my Healthy Extra A allowance. So pretty easy to adapt. Just checking what ingredients I have in. Now, reading through the recipe, I knew that I pretty much had everything, because if you have seen my stores, you know that, or rather how I keep my kitchen and my pantry going, you'll see that I do keep everything in, basically, all the basics, and this does only really have basic ingredients in it. The only thing I'm missing right now is cayenne pepper, because they didn't have any the other day when I went down. And the other thing is it does call for some kale or spinach, and I used all my spinach the other day. Now, you need to cook the rice in advance, so that's why I'm starting now, and I'm doing it in my rice cooker just for convenience, because I can just let it go and leave it to it. So the rice I'm using is black rice. I'm going to get this going in the rice cooker, and I'll show you the rest of the prep later. Oh, and I'll show you my lunch in a second, because I'm going to eat that in a minute when this is going, because I'm really hungry. And on we go. So this is why I like the rice cooker, because you just turn it on, and then when it's done, it just turns to a keep warm function, which is just brilliant. Yes, the side is a mess because obviously I have everything out ready to go. So lunchtime, I've put loads of leaves in a bowl. You'll be used to seeing this if you watch me every day, but pea shoot salad and baby leaf peppery salad, pretty standard. And then I've got some cucumber and some spring onion to go on top. Isn't that beautiful? And then I've got my reheated pasta and barbecue tofu. Now I just microwaved this, but actually, surprisingly, there does appear to still be a bit of crisp in there, which is nice. Okay, I've just chopped up the last 2 bits of tofu into little bite-sized pieces, and I'll top it with that. Look at the mess. Just tofu and couscous everywhere. Yeah, this doesn't look that attractive, but it's going to taste really nice. So I've got the barbecue sauce on this tofu is 1 sin. The nooch in the pasta is 1 sin. So it's just 2 sins. But what I'm going to do, because it is the next day and it is probably going to be a little bit dry, I'm going to top with 2 more tablespoons of barbecue sauce. As it turns out, there's no elegant way to do that, so it's just lumped on there. And as I have my salt and pepper already out, that makes it very easy to just pop some salt on my food. And a bit of pepper. And that, my friends, is lunch for 4 sins. You know when you go shopping and everything just goes wrong? So firstly, I went in for 2 very specific items, spinach and cayenne pepper. I'll show you what I actually bought. Secondly, I did the scan and shop thing, and it came up with a check, which was fine. Only then it didn't recognise 1 item, so I had to unpack every single thing in my bag, rescan it all, at which point I accidentally scanned my reusable shopping bag, so I had to call the guy back over. Then at the end, when I asked for my receipt, it printed out a blank one, and then I had to get the guy back over, so that was 3 times. And then he did it and it came out blank, and then he sorted it out. Anywho, what was a very quick and easy trip turned into a bit of a full bag, and just things not going right. Anywho, here's what I bought. Okay, so having gone out for cayenne pepper and spinach, as you can see, I got a little bit more. Now then, let's start here, because I don't want you all to think that I've suddenly given up on yesterday's good intentions, but I was wandering up the biscuit aisle because I thought, if I feel anything like I did yesterday, where I want a bit of a, you know, in that bingey mood basically, and I would have killed for some biscuits yesterday, but I thought I'll just have a look and see if there's any of those mini packs. So I think Party Rings do like a multi-pack of mini biscuits, and anyway, I found these. Now there's only 2 different kinds of multi-pack mini things, and this is the only vegan one, and so I thought I'll just have a quick look and see if it's vegan. Lo and behold, it actually marks it as suitable for vegans, which I didn't notice till I scanned it 17 times before making sure before I bought it. But Anyway, and at 88 calories per snack pack, hi Delta, at 88 calories per snack pack, I reckon they're going to be 4.5 sins per snack pack. So I think that is really good. So I got a couple because they're on offer, they're £1. So I thought, do you know what? That's good, because I've got something then that has got that feeling of something satisfying when you're in that kind of mood. And I don't know if this is just me, but there's like a bit of a psychological thing about something that's individually packaged. So for example, a packet of biscuits I find very hard to put aside, come back to over multiple occasions. Whereas with something like this, where it's in little mini bags, so you get 4 mini Dodgers in a bag, then that's much easier because you're consciously having to go get another packet, open a second one, and in your mind, you know, a packet is a portion. So, you know, it's a lot harder to abuse this kind of thing, which is why I like individual packeted things, even if they do work out a little more expensive in terms of volume. So that's the Jammy Dodgers story. Oh, and interestingly, I looked at the big packets and they all had milk in them. So maybe I've misread that all Jammy Dodgers are vegan now. Maybe it's just the minis. Either way, I'm really, really glad I found these. I may even save some sins for some later to try them, because I could not tell you the last time I had a Jammy Dodger, probably like 15 years ago. Okay, the next thing I got, Ryvita multigrain. These I had a look on the app while I was in the aisle because I thought, oh, I like Ryvita. I haven't had them for a long time. And oh my God, I didn't even check if they're vegan. I really hope they are. Oh God. Suitable for vegetarians. Where's the ingredients? Oh, that's the ingredients. Oh, that's fine then. Oh my goodness. I was having a little panic then. I thought maybe they're not vegan. I didn't even look. Wow. Why don't they say vegan if they're vegan? I mean, they've literally got hardly anything in them. Goodness. Okay, well, thank God for that. I can't believe I didn't check. There's a few times where you just get so used to so many things being vegan and I just forget to check things. And I've done it a couple of times where I've picked up non-vegan stuff and had to give it like to my mum or something. Anyway, so back to the point. These were, I looked on the app, they're 1.5 sins each, or you can have, I know, Darts, I'm home. Or you can have 4 for your healthy extra B choice. So I thought that's quite a nice, like, snack. Pew, pew, good girl. She's chatting because I'm home and she'll have just been in silence while I was out for a lot longer than I meant to be. Okay, then we've got some tender stem broccoli, which I bought because it was on offer. So I didn't really need any more, but, you know, I got some. Got some soy milk, so I didn't have much left. I wasn't too impressed with that Tesco unsweetened soy milk, so I thought I'll just buy some Alpro normal one, try that. I think it was on offer anyway at £1. My bag of spinach that I actually went in for. A big lump of ginger, because I always like to make sure I've got plenty of ginger in the house. And some coriander, because I'm going to use some coriander later. And so I wanted to make sure I'd have some more. Red chilies, because I've only got one left. Courgettes, because I haven't been able to find them anywhere recently. Lidl's have all been rotten, and I'm not joking, actually rotten every time I've gone in. Tesco have had none for the longest time. This was the last one in Sainsbury's. So it's the first time I've seen a courgette in a long, well, probably a good 2 weeks. So, and I love courgettes, as you'll know from many of my previous videos. So that's that. I got some more Alpro plain no sugars yogurt. This is sin free. And then, oh, and I also got some tofurkey slices. And these, I've forgotten the sins. It's something like 1.5 sins for a third of the pack. It's something funny like that. So they're not loads of sins, and they're really tasty. Much nicer than corn, and they're no more expensive. I looked at the prices. This is £3 for 150 grams, or the corn slices are £2 for 100 grams. So it's the same price, and this is like exponentially nicer. Anywho, and then everything else I got was just topping up my spices. Don't worry, got my cayenne, got one for the drawer, one for spare. And then also a chipotle paste, because I didn't have a spare one, so I needed to replace that one. Oh, and I got an extra harissa for my mum because she said she wanted one next time I'm in Sainsbury's. So yeah, that one's to replace the empty one, that's to go in the drawer, that's to go in the drawer. Those are all the spare stock. And that's my little expensive spinach and cayenne shop. As predicted, I couldn't even wait maybe 10 minutes before trying Jammy Dodgers. I did check how many sins I'd used first, and I'm only on 9.5. So And these are 4.5. I checked in the app, so that puts me on 14 for the day. And this is what they're like. So they are pretty small. You get them in this little pack, like 2 and 2. But I tell you what, I've already eaten one, but oh my God, it was lush. I honestly can't remember when I last had a jammy dodger. So I've got to say, this is worth 4.5 sins, especially if you nibble it, make it last a bit longer. Okay, for the casserole for this evening, the Tex Mex Casserole. 1 red onion, 3 big things of garlic, 1 big red chili, a red pepper and an orange pepper. I'm just gonna saute these in 10 sprays of rapeseed oil, shocker. So that's 1 sin total. That's actually all the sins that will go in this dish, except for the cheese, which is, I'm gonna use this Healthy Extra A. Also, my mum was not supposed to be here for another hour and a half, but she's just told me that she's coming now. So we're gonna sit in the garden and have a coffee because it's randomly gone really sunny. It was really like grey and horrible this morning. So I thought, perfect, we'll have like a warming dish. And now it's like 22 degrees. So that was silly, but I'm not changing my menu. I forgot to record me making this, but basically you saute the vegetables, then you stir in the spices, and then you add in the black beans, cooked rice, passata, chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, and a little bit of the cheese. Then top it all with cheese and pop it in the oven. And then when it comes out, you get this amazing, delicious casserole in the American sense. And it was really good. And I have to tell you, me and Mum actually ended up eating all of it. Hi, it's Future Leanne. Just very quickly to explain about that casserole. So I didn't film me making it, as I said, but it was extremely simple. It's one of those things with a long list of ingredients, but actually they're all basic ingredients and in fact mostly store cupboard, and it's just very quick and easy to put together. So yeah, it's definitely a really good recipe, and I'm going to make it a lot more actually as we go into winter because it's really, really hearty and satisfying. Me and Mum did eat the whole thing. So just to break it down sins wise, in the saute pan for the vegetables, I used 10 sprays of rapeseed oil, which was 1 sin total. Obviously divide that between me and Mum, so it's half a sin each. And then for the cheese, I'd used 120 grams of cocoa. The idea was that we were going to have a third each, and then I was going to save a third. It was so nice when we were both eating it, and we're like, yeah, we can just eat the other bit. So we had it. We eat equal amounts, even though I am literally over 3 times the size of my mum. Yeah. So she can eat. So can I. But yeah, so essentially I used 1 Healthy Extra A on my cheese, and then the other half portion of cheese, which would have been another Healthy Extra A, is actually another 3 sins. So for me, it cost 3.5 sins, which was totally worth it. It's really, really nice. I do recommend you try it. God, sorry about the crappy filming today, guys. Been a bit patchy. Basically, after dinner for dessert, we had a Tesco strawberry split ice cream, and these are 4.5 sins. 4.5 sins. And they're really, really nice. I haven't actually tried those ones before. I've tried them years ago when they had like a multi-flavour pack, but this is like the new version. They just do strawberry. Anyway, they're really, really tasty. So again, recommend them. Quite a good low sin snack, 4.5, and it felt really treaty. They last a long time, nice and refreshing, you know. Suddenly realising I've had no chocolate today, but hey ho, that's okay. Oh, and the other thing is I had an iced coffee with Mum earlier when she first came over. A homemade one, of course. I didn't film it, I'm so sorry. But basically 200 mils of almond milk went into it. And so that's another 2 sins for that one.